Greetings, folks. Sealer here. Today's replay is courtesy of Magru 5815 in the Großer Kurfürst, and this is the second of two back-to-back rank battles on the channel this week. These matches are played in 7 versus 7 format with tier 10 ships in the arms race mode. Now, Magru's team, or both teams, have 3 battleships, 1 cruiser, and 3 destroyers. And Magru runs what I call an all-in secondary build, where he takes every skill and upgrade available to him to improve the performance of his secondaries. Now, for those of you who have watched my secondary build video, which I'll leave a link to in the description below, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of these builds because I think they trade off too much with regard to endurance and survivability. However, in these arms race mode, where there are HP regeneration buffs, like his team just picked up now, to allow teams or ships to regenerate health as the game is going along, as well as the relatively short nature of these matches, and in fact this match is going to be quite short, means that things like Superintendent to get an extra charge of repair party generally isn't going to be useful, and the close engagements of these battles means that ships with secondary builds can indeed be very, very effective. So we are going to see a fun and, like I said, quite quick match for Magru. If I didn't mention already, Magru, I believe, said this was the first replay he's had featured on YouTube, so I am very honored and flattered that he has given me the opportunity to share this match with you. Now, Magru, you'll notice, is using high explosive, and I did ask him about his choice of ammo here, and his thought process was that because there are so many destroyers, or destroyers make up such a large percentage of the teams, that he wanted to use high explosive in order to try to focus out the destroyers as quickly as possible, and that is indeed not necessarily a bad choice at all, although frankly overpens of these guns do some serious damage anyway. Although they are not quite as likely to cause module damage, but armor piercing is very influential to destroyers as well. So he did pop his hydro here in anticipation of one of the destroyers, and he has indeed discovered the gearing, and this gearing has made the fatal mistake of smoking up in front of a German battleship with hydro running and a secondary build, and so between the secondaries and these HE salvos, this gearing isn't going to last too much longer, and that will give Magru his first kill of the game. Now, you notice that Magru's taken some fairly significant hits here, both from the opposing Kurfürst secondaries. In fact, Magru gets his first kill through the secondaries, and he's burning in 2 places, but he's chosen not to use his damage control, as again, all of this fire damage can be repaired, but also with the HP regeneration buff, the notion of not being able to repair like Citadel damage just doesn't exist. I mean, you can fully heal your ship back up to maximum health if given enough time and enough buffs, but he successfully has driven off, well, obviously killed the gearing, and is now driving off the Kurfürst that has pushed into the middle of the map. So, in my opinion, the brawling battleships can do very, very well in arms race. In fact, during the previous season of Ranked that involved arms race mode, which was played at tier 9, I think there was a general opinion that the Friedrich der Große, the tier 9 German battleship, did very well as well, with buff secondaries at that time, and definitely saw a lot of action based on the replays and commentaries I saw in various forums. So we could see that Magru is healing up here. He does take another fire, but he's almost got his opponent here down. His opponent is burning, and he takes another fire. In fact, there, Magru has just earned Wither. He has continued to fire high explosive, and at this point, I understood the notion of using high explosive against the destroyers, but at this point, with at least with 2 of the destroyers down and the other one quite far from him, not within torpedo range, I think at this point it would be okay to switch back to armor piercing, and in fact he will switch to armor piercing in not too long. One of the opposing Kurfürst does go down. That leaves one other Kurfürst, And the third battleship is a Thunderer, who is playing very, 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 very far from the objective. Last seen at the India 1 sector. So that battleship is really not serving his team much at all. In fact, the Allies have now just picked up another HP buff, and that is going to give him some more healing power as he survives a hit from the second of the two Kurfürsts and finishes off the Kurfürst. Again, still loading high explosive here. It's up to 164,000 in damage, and is popped hydro again. I think with the daring not being visible, I think it's reasonable, and with him being hard detected, and the Hindenburg on the other side of the island, he obviously is being detected by the destroyer. In fact, you can see that his priority target has gone from 1 to 0, which is often an indication that a known or suspected destroyer has targeted and maybe sent torpedoes. In fact, here we've seen that Magru, so he's activated his hydro in anticipation of that, but here we can see Magru has indeed switched over to armor piercing. The team has just picked up its 4th HP regeneration buff, and that in combination with the repair party consumable, he is rapidly regaining a lot of his health, and that is going to make him largely unsinkable short of a significant torpedo strike. In fact, what's going to happen here, this is going to be very interesting. The Hindenburg is coming across broadside, and there is the daring. So his salvo here is targeted at the Hindenburg, but not only does he sink the daring, he gets a citadel hit on the Hindenburg. I don't know whether that was because one of the overpens went through the daring and actually citadel the Hindenburg, or whether that was a separate shell, but that was a pretty humorous strike right there. So very well done. Naturally, Magru is peeling away here with the threat of torpedoes from both the daring and the Hindenburg, and he does take down the Hindenburg for his 4th kill. And there we can see a very healthy Thunderer down on the J line, on the Juliet line, and in fact the Allies are going to take the center cap and win on points well before they can sink the Thunderer. So we're going to cut over to the end screen. So Wither, Fireproof, Dreadnought, Close Quarters, First Blood, High Caliber, 4 kills, almost 2,500 base XP. Very well done, Magru. Thank you very much for sharing this match with us. It was certainly very fun for me to watch, and I hope everybody here enjoyed the replay as well. And with that, we hope to see you out there on the virtual seas, and we wish you happy sailing.